Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to myself. Welcome back to Alaia. If you haven't guessed by now, you're listening to 18 to 49, where things get real, we stick with it, we ditch it, and a lot of times we love a lot of things. Hey, Alaia, what's happening?
I love waiting to hear what you're going to say for an intro.
Yeah.
It's like the highlight for me.
Thank you. I wait for your response. I wait for the validation of my intros. I've studied intro masters. I feel like Steve Harvey on The Kings of Comedy was an intro master. He was the MC, but he also did his own stand-up, but he brought people on. So I watch Steve Harvey, and I see if I can bring people on like he does. Mm-hmm. So I have to decide, is it going to be a huge burst of energy bring on, or am I going to kind of temper it and slowly escalate? So that's kind of my thinking. Today I did a slow escalation. Almost like a mall escalator. Not that fast, not that slow, just right. It's very Goldilocks in the Three Bears. I was thinking about something this week. I was trying not to laugh at my own joke. You can't laugh at your own joke first, right? That's the rule.
That is true.
Oh, gosh. It was so hard for me just then. I was thinking about something this week. Maybe you'll appreciate this. And I don't know if we've talked about it before or not. But for some reason, that article, I guess I saw it somewhere. Maybe it was Facebook or something. I look at too many things these days. But at any rate, I saw that article where they were talking about, for the first time in like, I don't know how many years, that children, there will be no Saturday programming, period. And I feel like
we talked about that here.
Yeah, we talked about it. But then I thought about something as the theme song for DuckTales was going through my head randomly. The theme from Tiny Toons and Animaniacs and TGIF was going through my head. I thought, what will the children sing?
I don't know.
Do you remember, like...
They have sad lives.
They don't have anything to sing. Do you remember, like, in school when... You know, you would come back to school and you'd be like, hey, did you catch Fresh Prince? And then everybody would be like, yeah, it was so funny. And then somebody would start singing the theme song, and then everyone at the table would sing the theme song. And it was this whole like camaraderie, this solidarity. We all stand behind Fresh Prince.
I feel like there are less and less common experiences as time goes on. You know, like back in the 50s, 60s, when this whole TV and everyone having a TV was kind of a newish thing, there were like 4 channels, so everyone watched the same shows. And I think we talked about this earlier in our show, but that's how like water cooler moments were made. Like you only had so many options and everyone saw the same thing, so you could all go to work and talk about shows around the water cooler. And you know, that continued for a while, and people would like video record things, but most people still did watch stuff live. Mm-hmm. But then I think as we get more and more cable channels and DVR and Netflix, like people may be watching the same thing, but they're not watching it at the same time. Like a bunch of my friends are rewatching Gilmore Girls, which I also plan to do, but I plan to do it in December. And like one of them's like, I'm already on season 2. And I'm like, oh no, if I knew you were going to watch that, I would have watched it at the same time. And
then we could have talked about it. Just like we texted about Oz.
Exactly.
Which is a very magical moment for me because it allows me to revisit those memories.
But yeah, so I mean, even that, like we go at different paces. Some of us can handle more than others. Like whenever I text you, you're like, dang, you're moving through Oz fast. I'm like, yes, I am.
Yeah, I'm not playing around. Well, and then, but back then, right, when I was watching it, it was just, you just had an episode. So there was I couldn't go and binge watch anything because it was coming out weekly, right? So it was just...
Right.
And it was, I don't even remember, there was no DVR. I didn't have a DVR at that time. So it just, you had to watch it then. Mm-hmm. And they weren't doing this whole online business. So I couldn't go and watch it online. I had to watch it at that time. And if I didn't watch it, I missed it. And I couldn't talk to anyone about it.
And you'd wait months for a rerun.
Exactly. Or I'd have to wait until, because it came on Sunday, I feel like. So I had to wait until like Wednesday or something when they broadcast it again. Or maybe it was Monday or something weird. But yeah, they don't have anything. And then I was looking at some of the TV shows that I watch, and there's very few, like, theme songs. Like, Parenthood has a theme song. Scandal, there's no theme music. There's no theme music, really.
And
there's
the
no
Parenthood
songs.
theme song is an old Bob Dylan song.
Exactly.
So it's not even new.
No, it's not something that somebody created. So they don't have anything to sing. I remember you used to be so excited when you would sing a theme song. You could do, like, the little movements from the intro. You know, everybody would sing it. It was like this whole, like, theme song mixtape. You know, you would start with, like, Fresh Prince, in with, like, Tiny Toons or something, or DuckTales. It was a whole mixtape. You sang like 6 or 7 songs together as a group. Everyone laughed. You know, we'd point out the person who couldn't remember the lyrics. You'd laugh at that person, and then they would come back in and sing Family Matters. It is so sad. Where's the singing?
So last week, I broadcasted from the beach. I was at a retreat, and the next day we had like a beach bonfire, and a bunch of the women kicked it off by singing like theme songs. And of course, none of them are from current shows because current shows don't have theme songs. And then we ended up playing Heads Up, which was really fun.
Heads Up 7 Up?
Yeah, but it's just called Heads Up. No, not Heads Up 7 Up. Oh. Just Heads Up, the app game where you put the phone on your forehead.
Oh, yeah, that game's fun. That's like, that's like the old school.
And of course, I rocked the movie category. Good. And sort of the celebrity category. And then when we got to music, it was interesting because there were theme songs and popular songs, but you couldn't sing the words or say the artist. You had to hum. That was pretty entertaining.
Yeah. I see with Heads Up. So when I played Heads Up, I played it with these young people, and there was an issue. Like, if you don't dip your head down far enough, if you don't give yourself whiplash, then the screen isn't going to change. So I found that game to be very painful because it was like I had to whiplash my head each time, and not in like a Willow Smith style. It was like a real whiplash, and then I had to bring my head back up, and I was dizzy. It was tough.
I just got really good with the hand motion. Like, I didn't move my head ever. I just flipped the phone physically up and down because I found that my head wasn't moving enough. But I was very excited about this whole thing because I've had the Heads Up app for over a year, and I had no one to play with. And then suddenly I had a group of people to play with.
I feel like you could find a group of people to play with. Like, if you were just like, hey, people, I'm thinking about playing some games. I'm going to have a game night. You could totally have a game night.
We'll see.
You can make that happen.
I may test that theory.
Yeah, but that's the end of my rant about what would the children sing. They don't have anything to sing. I looked at some of their children's shows, you know, like Legend of Korra. That's the one. The Avatar show. Like, I'm looking at these shows on like Nickelodeon and all that, and Noggin and whatever else they watch. They don't have any songs to sing. No songs. The WB, which I guess is for teenagers now.
CW, yeah.
Oh, sorry. There was a WB when even the WB had theme songs. Do you remember when Parenthood, the black version, was out with
The Parent Trap?
No, Robert Townsend.
Wait, no. Yeah, Parenthood.
There was a real show before the other Parenthood, and it was on the.
I loved that show.
Yes, they had a theme song.
There was also the Steve Harvey show, which wasn't a theme, but it was like a music, jazzy music.
And you could like hum it, and then Sister and all that. So I mean, it's just like they're nothing for these people. CW is apparently, so now that I know this, CW is like the teenage network, and it didn't click for me. I was like, who is the CW for? But I used to watch Arrow, you know, and I stopped watching Arrow. I feel like we had this discussion online, I guess, and I don't watch it anymore because it just got to be a little too cheesy for me. And then I saw all the other shows that come on the CW. It's like Vampire Diaries.
I want to check out Jane the Virgin because people say it's good, but I don't watch the CW. I haven't watched the CW since
it was the WB, I bet.
Since the WB, but since like One Tree Hill started. I didn't watch the last seasons, but I watched like the first couple seasons of One Tree Hill. I think when they got off to college, it's like any show. It's like, ugh, I'm done. Yeah. You know, like the Dawson's Creek kids went to college and Saved by the Bell went to college. It's like,
I don't understand why it doesn't work when they go to college.
And the problem with American shows, which we've talked about, is they try, and like American network shows, they try to get as much out of it as possible. Like, okay, Saved by the Bell, it's about high school kids. When it's done, just end it. End it on a high note. Like, no one goes back and rewatches the college years, you know?
I do not. And don't bring a new class in. Because that new class?
No.
But the problem with the new class, too, is that they were trying to replicate the previous class because they had the black girl. And it's like, this is the worst.
The nerd. And you know what's funny? I read something that the new class was actually on longer than Saved by the Bell. That is weird to me.
That's because everybody ignored it. It came on Saturdays, and I think people had just ignored it, and they just wouldn't go away. And so they just were still there.
Oh, well. Enough of the old past. What'd you watch this week?
I'm living in the present.
Did you check out The Affair yet?
No, I didn't get a chance to. I thought about it, and then I forgot, and then I thought about it again, and then it was too late. But it's on my list.
I enjoy it.
It's on my Sunday list. I didn't watch anything on Sunday, I don't think, because what do I normally watch? It was The Boardwalk Empire. No, I didn't watch that, because I'm waiting on that. Yeah, I didn't watch anything on Sunday.
The Affair, if you remember, give it a shot. It's pretty good. I'm enjoying it, and I can't wait to see what unfolds. It's just so interesting in that. Do you remember that X-File? Did you ever watch the X-Files?
X-Files scared me, so no, I did not.
Oh, well, one of my favorite episodes of the X-Files is actually an episode that Luke Wilson is on, and it's told from like Mulder and Scully's perspectives, and it's so comically different, but that's the point, to show like how Mulder sees things and how Scully sees things. The Affair is sort of like the dramatic version of that, and it's sort of subtle changes, but it's just funny. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's very much when the guy is telling it from his perspective, the woman is very, I mean, she's not like fast and loose, but she's very flirty. Like, she knows he's married, but it kind of doesn't matter. She's very flirtatious and daring and sexual and leading him on and walk me home and like all these things. Mm-hmm. And when she tells it, she's very broken and fragile and unsure. And when she's around him, she's very uncomfortable. And he's the forward one. And it's like,
Interesting.
I can't wait to see what the truth is. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting, but I'm imagining that's very much like life.
So now it makes me wonder how people perceive my interaction. So it's like,
I know.
You think I am the aggressive one, when in actuality, I don't view myself as being that, and then I think you are.
It's scary.
Huh.
Yeah, it's scary. Anyway, that was good.
I'm ready for that in my life.
You know me. I like to keep it real and raw. Watching Oz.
Well, Oz is about as raw as you can get.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
In more ways than one.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm not even going to talk about what I've seen a few times on Oz this past week.
Oz does not hold back either. I mean, you would think that they would kind of, because think about when the show came out, you know? So it wasn't like, Oz could run right now.
It could.
It could run right now, and you'd be perfectly satisfied with it. So they're giving us futuristic on that show, even though it was in the past. And they don't hold anything back. And I'm very glad you finally saw that scene with the woman, because that woman, I kept trying to tell you, that woman, it's like, what are those?
And I know why you
forgot.
What are those? I know why you forgot the scene, because she was just in the locker room with McManus and the dude, and she just like whipped her sweater off. And I'm like, first of all, you weren't wearing a bra. How'd you manage that? Second of all, what's happening there? I'm so confused.
Well, you see how she managed not to wear a bra. She didn't need one. I mean, it just wasn't appropriate. It was just, what are those? Why do they look like two small lab rats attached to your chest? What are those? And it's not, I'm not like a boob judge. You know what I mean? I'm not like sitting out here judging people's boobs. I mean, I just couldn't believe. I was like, why is this happening? And why are we seeing her boobs? I don't want to see anyone's boobs, really, but hers. If you're going to show me a boob, show me a good one. Anyway. I digress. Sorry.
I watched more Oz than current shows. I skipped The Voice. I didn't watch anything Monday.
You skipped The Voice?
I skipped The Voice. I have a really busy week, and it's like 4 hours of The Voice. I don't think I've watched 4 hours of TV.
No, it's a lot. Yeah.
And then
I watched The Voice.
It was the World Series on Fox, so my Tuesday show, Mindy Project, was not on. How was The Voice this week?
The Voice. So I didn't watch all of it because, as you mentioned, it's 75 hours of your life, and I couldn't dedicate the kind of time. But I watched enough of it, and the battles are pretty good. They saved one girl very dramatically. Gwen Stefani saved her. She was the one who wore the little suspender outfit. She kind of looked like she could have been...
I might have missed her audition.
Okay. She looked like she could have been like one of the Penguin's minions on Batman. She had a like kind of reddish, pirate-ish looking outfit. Anyway, she was a really good singer. She battled, though, against this other girl. Of course, I'm not going to know names because these people come and go so quickly.
I don't know names on the show either. I don't know a single person's name.
Yeah, you don't need to know their names yet because they're not even solid on the show.
You get to know the top 5, 8, something like that.
Exactly. This girl, they both were very good. But, of course, it's the battle, so they have to choose one person. And so one was obviously better than the other, but both of them were good. I was like, why would you put these two people against each other?
I hate that.
You would want to keep this person on your team because she's really good. She can develop. Anyway, so Blake, it was Blake's team. He had to pick one. And then everybody's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry you have to leave. And Pharrell was like, oh, you're like the best and blah, 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 blah. And she goes to hug Gwen Stefani and she's kind of, the girl's like crying. She's like 30-ish or something. She's like crying like, oh no, don't worry about it. This is the greatest opportunity. And then Gwen Stefani reaches her arm back and pushes her button. And everybody's like, oh my God! Ah! And that's what
I like how excited they get.
Yeah.
When other people like steal or like save someone.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Well, because, you know,
I mean, in that way, it's good-hearted. Yeah.
Yeah, they have talent, you know?
This isn't American Idol. Like, people don't get on this show that suck.
No. Well, and these people have talent. You know, these judges have a great ear. All of these judges are phenomenal artists and producers and all these other things. So when they did that, though, everyone just screamed. There was like this huge eruption of joy.
Was that Tuesday or Monday?
That was a Monday. Wait, oh God. It comes on 2 nights?
It comes on 2 nights. It does.
Tuesday.
Maybe you only watch Monday because of the Blacklist.
I think it was Monday. I want to say it was Monday. It could have been Tuesday.
I'll track the moment down, but I'm not going to scroll through 4 hours.
No, don't. Oh, God. I don't remember what day it was. I think it was Monday, though, because I was watching... Oh, God, it could have been Tuesday. I can't help you. But, yeah, because I watched the Blacklist. Oh, I don't know.
How was the Blacklist?
So the Blacklist continues to give me what I need in my life to feel whole.
To feel whole?
Yeah, for my life to feel whole, the Blacklist gives me that thing. Because, you know, Red Reddington, again, I think about this. I would love this Lizzie girl who is the CIA agent or whatever agent that Red Reddington will only interact with, right? Because she still doesn't know. And everyone on, you know, these people on Twitter are still like, is that really his daughter? Yes, it is. I don't know how many more clues this show can give you that Lizzie is Red Reddington's daughter, for God's sakes. At any rate, Red Reddington, Mrs. Spader, is trying
Well, now I know.
Well, let me tell you something. You could turn on the television right now, catch the last 20 seconds of the show, and you would have known.
I know. When the commercials come on, I always, like, block my face and hit mute.
Just you would know.
But it's too late.
I'm not ruining it for anyone. And it's not like knowing that is going to change anything for you, really. It's a fact. Well, he's looking for his other daughter who has gone missing, or actually went into some sort of hiding because of his, you know, his profession. So he's looking for her. He gets to go to the DMV, which is really a hilarious scene because he interacts with this guy at the DMV who has some sort of, I don't know what the guy's deal is, but they always find the quirkiest little people. So this guy has some kind of arm thing, like his arms look like they're too short or something. His neck's kind of short too. It's recognizable. Anyway, so he's talking to this guy. It's a really funny scene. But the storyline this week, so, you know, they always have 2 little storylines. So there's the storyline that changes on a weekly basis, and then there's an ongoing story of Lizzie and this behind the door business, which I'm really getting sick of. She's got something locked behind this door. She keeps sitting there looking at the door, wondering, like, commiserating each week. Should I lock the door? Should I unlock the door? I'm very sick of it. Just unlock the damn door. So that's that storyline going on in the Red trying to find, you know, he has his ulterior motives. But this week it was kind of like a episode about, it wasn't like Ebola, but it was like some sort of some disease that was like in these stones, I guess, some sort of virus. And so this guy from a cult figured out a way to extract it from this 300-year-old rock. And then he figured out a way to take it and morph it into this new virus. And so he and his cult members, like, inhale this virus. And then they started going on these flights. And the whole point is they were trying to spread this virus and then have this mass, like, death viral infection. And they were trying to figure out what was going on. And yeah. And, of course, Red Reddington at the end solves the whole mystery and then finds some little piece of a key that he was looking for. So that was kind of the deal. It was a good show. I feel like I want Red Reddington to be one of my friends, but not really a friend. You know what I mean? Because he's not really a friend because he would kill you. But just kind of to observe him, that thinking. You see what I mean?
I'll watch the show one day.
I think you would enjoy it.
I don't doubt it. I just want to watch The Wire, and then I need to cleanse myself in the waters of Stars Hollow and Gilmore Girls because of all the intense things I'm watching.
I feel like you should, like, Oz. I mean, you are only, so, you know, like on the roller coaster when you, like, go up to, like, ting, 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 ting part, and then you, like, you do the whole very quickly, this very fast decline, but then you're like, oh, the worst is over, but then you go through the big loop and everything else. You know, like the 4 different
Yes.
loops that come, and you're like, oh, yay, we finally made it. And it's like, oh, no, you didn't, because there's another little tink, 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 you know, this whole incline. That, like, Oz is that kind of thing. So I feel like you're just now coming down, and you've just almost are through the first loop. There's so many loops left.
In seasons 5 and 6?
There's
I'm in
so
the
many
second half of season 4.
There's so many loops, and there's so many curves that you have yet to see. And I feel like going next to The Wire is just like, it's like you're going on back to back to back to back to back to back, like roller
Should I
coasters.
watch Gilmore Girls first then?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think I think you could use that kind of action, you know? I think everybody could use that kind of thrill ride in their lives. I think you should just go for it, but it's just going to be, I'm just preparing. It's going to be a lot. It's like you take a break to eat like a hot dog. You're like, oh, really hungry, let's eat a hot dog. And then you immediately go on the next roller coaster. That's kind of what you're doing. A funnel cake, elephant ear, and a
That
little
doesn't
slush.
sound pleasant.
And then you go on the next, that's how it feels.
Does not sound pleasant.
Yeah, so that's what you're up against. But it'll be fun. I'm going to watch The Wire. I dedicated myself to watching The Wire again as well because...
Well, you should watch it when I watch it, so I have
will.
someone to...
I stopped.
You and Brian Shea.
Yeah, well, Brian Shea knows everything about it. Brian Shea is Omar. Brian Shea is going to be Omar next week, and once you watch it, it'll be hilarious because you'll see Omar coming. That's what we're going to say about Brian Shea. Yeah, so Monday, that's what I watched. I watched something on Tuesday, too. Did you watch something on Tuesday?
No.
Oh,
Mindy Project, World Series. Couldn't watch it.
did you start watching Marry Me yet?
No, completely forgot.
You should totally... Okay, I think you would think the show's hilarious. I think it's really smart writing. It's a very... It takes me back. Did you ever like The Office?
I loved The Office.
Yeah, okay. It takes me back. It reminds me of The Office in that the humor is just... It's just so witty. And it's clever. And it just is hilarious. And Marry Me is... I mean, it's real... To me, it's super funny. All the characters really play their roles very well. And it's just super funny. Very high level overview. So last week, the proposal happened with the whole blow up where she basically is just roasting everyone but has no idea they're there. So this week, they kind of move in together. And the friends, of course, I don't know their names yet because we're very early in the show. I can't commit these names to memory until I'm committed to the show. But the friend who is divorced decides that he wants to go and hang out at this buffet. So he's at this buffet for like 24 hours. And what happens at this buffet is hilarious. Then they move in together, the couple, Annie and whatever the other guy's name is. Can't think of it right now. They move in together. He starts to invade her space. She's not very comfortable with it. So she decides that she cannot be in the house with him for that many hours. He moves her TV around and moves her boxes and all these other things. Just, you know, that whole feeling you have when someone else new comes into your space and you're trying to cohabitate. So she goes and decides to start staying in her car. And she's like watching Real Housewives in her car and all these other things. And so she's talking to her friends about this whole process of him coming into her place and her living in her car. And eventually she transforms her car into like this whole apartment. And the scene that I found really hilarious is all of her friends are coming to talk some sense into her. And they all come at different times, right? So it's just very convenient. But they all start getting inside the car. So her 2 dads are inside the car. The guy who was at the buffet for 24 hours got inside the car. Her friend decided that someone said she looked like she was 40, but she's only 32. So she gets this Botox and it's botched. And so her face is in this permanent, like, like it's just hilarious. The face is like permanently frozen with this scary looking skeleton-like looking face. And anyway, so she gets in the car. It's just a great
faces.
Scene. Oh, well. It was almost as bad as that. And so it was hilarious. The scene was hilarious. A cop comes and everything else. So the show, and at the end, they had a really funny moment at the buffet when they changed the soups out. They do like shoop, but for soups.
Oh, God.
And it was hilarious. Seriously. So you should totally watch it. You should take some time. If you need to laugh, take some time and watch those episodes. You will enjoy it. I'm sticking with that show for right now. I think it's really funny. It's a nice break because I'm not really watching a lot of comedies outside of Blackish. So it was nice to have something else to add to the roster.
Oh, yeah. Wednesday. Blackish. What happened this week outside of the spanking? I forgot, but I thought something was funny. Didn't someone else have a storyline, or was it all spanking?
It was all spanking, basically. Well, it was him. Yeah, I mean, the storyline was basically him hiding, the little boy hiding, and then them going through the whole spanking.
I guess the funny scene for me was actually when he was at work, and people were like, yeah, we were all spanked, and we turned out fine. And then he says he's going to spank his kids, and people are like,
Don't spank
hell
him.
no.
Don't spank him.
Because that's totally how people are.
Yeah. I think the funniest individual on that show for me right now is that little girl. That
She's
little
my
girl,
favorite.
she lands it every time, doesn't she?
She's great.
And when she when she was in the hallway and the little boy comes out with those layers and she's like, dead man walking. Just was like, little girl, you are this show right now for me. All the characters are good. Lawrence Fishburne with his little drop-ins, his little bombs that he drops are hilarious. And I'm starting to, I think I talked about this before, but I'm starting to appreciate the match between Tracy Ellis Ross, Dre, and Rainbow. Is that her name? Yeah.
I don't know. Is her name Rainbow?
Yeah, it's like Bo. They call her Bo or Boo.
Oh, really? Her
but I
name
think
is
it's like Rainbow. Yeah.
See,
So I'm starting to like them together. It took a while to grow on me, but now I'm starting to like that dynamic. But I thought it was a great episode. I thought it was hilarious. And I was just hoping and praying that there wasn't some huge like think piece or whatever else people write these days about spankings and some Good Morning America segment about spankings. I was hoping that would not happen. I haven't heard of anything, so I'm glad to spank or not to spank. It's like, listen, mind your business and let these people do what they want to do with their own kids. You raise your kids over there. Let them raise their kids over there. We'll see who turns out. Okay.
I like when probably my favorite scene with the little boy was they were like, well, what will happen if we spank him? And it's like,
yeah.
I'm homeless because you spanked me. Well,
right.
What will happen if we didn't spank him? I'm homeless because you didn't spank me.
With his little shopping cart.
Oh, like a little child hobo for Halloween. It was great.
He was the cutest little hobo in town.
It's growing on me. I mean, it's the kind of thing where I watch SVU on Wednesdays and then Thursday morning as I'm like working, Blackish is on. Mm-hmm. Like it still doesn't have my full attention yet. SVU was like, it was okay, but it was a Barba episode. So I was like, ugh. When Raul Esparza shows up in his vests, my life just gets better.
You love those vests.
I do. I just love him. I love that little man.
Like, oh, where's his vest? Here they are.
Here he is. I love a good Barba episode. I love some Raul Esparza.
What was his thing this episode?
He was upset at a judge who, like, basically was like, there's no evidence that this chick got raped. And he's like, Your Honor, excuse me. And he, not like that, in his fancy pants way. Mm-hmm. And he worked his way all the way up to the bench. And the judge was like, back the F up. And I think the judge was that black guy who was on Spin City. I'm trying to think of what else he was on.
I know which one you're talking about.
You'd know who. Yeah, him.
He's always on stuff.
Yeah, and he was a mean this time. He was a dramatic actor. He was a mean judge saying that girl wasn't raped. Anyway, but yes, SVU this week was better than last week because it wasn't one of those ripped from the headlines. Mm-hmm. Crappy episodes.
Yeah.
But SVU, it has a bomb every now and then, but there are just so many good episodes that you can still watch and enjoy, and like the bombs don't have an impact.
You don't need bombs on SVU. You just need regular good. The storylines are good, like you said. You don't need bombs. The actors.
No,
are
I
great.
mean I mean like bad stuff. Like like an episode that bombs. Like there are a couple of those. Like, and I think that's like we talked about this. The Rihanna one, the Rihanna Chris Brown. Like some of those are really awful. But you're like, you know what? There's like 360 great episodes. So who cares?
You don't even notice. I don't even remember any bad episodes.
I know. I just remember that one because it's like a newer one.
Because it was the absolute worst.
Chris Maloney was at my favorite movie theater premiering some movie he's in with some other people. And I was upset that I wasn't at the theater when he was in town. But someone asked him about SVU, like a reporter. And he's like, I think that ship has sailed. And he's like, I thought I could joke about like whether I go on or not. He's like, but I have to be really careful about what I say. And, he made that joke because Mariska did this interview where someone asked about him coming back to the show. And, they're friends, of course, after all those years. And I think he's godfather to her children or the other way around, like something like that. So they talk all the time. And she's like, oh, yeah, maybe he can be the baby's baby daddy or whatever. I forgot the baby's name. Noah. Emma,
cute.
Whatever. Yeah, boy. Whatever. I know. Emma came to my mind, though.
Emma's not a boy's name.
I know. whatever the cute baby's name is. And, so that was a joke. And so, of course, fans were like, oh, God, Stabler's going to come back this year. And he's like, I have to keep my mouth shut. Like, I can't even joke. Because, and it drives me crazy. Like, every time this man posts, this man has been gone from SVU for so many years. And yes, most of us believe that the Stabler years were the best years. But on every single tweet, Instagram, Facebook post, the first comments are always, come back to SVU, miss you on SVU. It's like, move on. He has. What are you doing? And this guy posts several times a day. So it's like people just begging him to come back to SVU multiple times a day. Yeah. It's like, I'm sure this guy would love to hear something else.
But that was just, let me think, when you think about his catalog, his life's work, of his body of work, that was probably some of that and Oz.
Well, it was 11 years.
That and Oz was some of his best work.
He didn't ask me anything with IMDb, and I didn't know about it until the last 5 minutes. I tried to squeeze in a question, and I said, you've played Stabler, Chris Keller, the dude on Jack, whatever his name was. What would you like to play next? And I kept trying to bring in Oz without saying anything inappropriate about Oz. Like, hey, I just saw your peen. Is that going to happen again?
Yeah.
But Oz is pretty great. And it's interesting because he did both at the same time.
Yeah.
And so did B.D. Wong and J.K. Simons, who was on a couple early episodes, I think. He was definitely on Law & Order, but he wasn't on Law & Order SVU as much. But everyone from SVU has been on Oz or Dexter.
Yeah.
It's like the Oz cast is all over the place.
Well, that's because they're really good.
They are really good. Anyway, that was Wednesday. Thursday?
That means what?
Well, you know how I feel about Scandal.
Yeah.
And, well, first, let's talk a little pop culture with Shonda Rhimes.
Sure.
People have been writing her case about the gay love scenes. And, the last couple weeks, the only people who've had love scenes on her shows have been gay.
Haven't even noticed that.
I hadn't noticed that, one. Two, we talked about this last week, I believe. I don't like the gay bisexual, whatever guy he is, on How to Get Away with Murder.
He's too much.
Because he's just nasty. He's too much.
Yeah, it's too much. It's ugh.
And so it's not even it's not even the sex. It's he's just so much that when he gets to that point, I'm just ugh. And it has nothing to do with him being gay. It's just ugh, I don't like you.
He's slimy. That's the whole thing about him. He's so slimy.
His device. That's his device.
But he's slimy about it. If he used it as his device, I'm fine with it. You could do whatever you want. But he's just so slimy, and he's so dirty about it, and not a good Christina Aguilera dirty. He's just dirty about it. It's ugh.
And
filth.
And as we said on our Facebook page, we don't have a problem with anyone's love scenes or gay love scenes. We have a problem with Cyrus Bean love scenes.
Lord Jesus.
That is a problem.
That wig. The wig is the worst. And I don't want to see him without his shirt on. Sorry, Cyrus Bean. You can age gracefully. That's fine. It has nothing to do. I just don't want to see. I don't want to see you doing that. I don't want to see you.
And this week there were no love scenes really on Scandal. There were flashbacks of Jake and Olivia on the beach. And am I wrong? But I feel like there was a little extra emphasis or some zooming in when she's telling Jake don't stop and he's doing a little manual manipulation. I feel like they were really trying to drive that point home.
Well, they would.
I just feel like that flashback, I feel like it was a little closer zoomed in than when we originally watched it, but I could be wrong.
Well, they zoomed into her face and they zoomed into his face.
Into his face, yeah. But he had this look on his face I'm working here.
Yeah, leave me alone.
I was like, okay, really?
Yeah.
So that's the love scene commentary. Scandal, I don't even know what to say. It was significantly less fun to watch after having watched it with a group of people last week, so I will note that. But two, I just feel like Olivia, when did she become so gullible? She went from knowing not to trust her dad to now completely trusting him, talking about Jake, and then at the end, someone telling her that, oh, Jake, whatever, Jake killed the president's son. And it just takes her all but 2 minutes to be convinced. Really?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, even if you suspected, you're going to so fully believe that he did it that quickly and have a total breakdown, and it's just too much. And then someone will find Jake, if next week's teaser is leading us on the right trail. Someone will find Jake. He'll be like, I didn't do it. Think about it. Your dad did XYZ. And then she'll believe Jake and hate her dad again. It's
she's already said. Well, he already said that. But here's the thing about this. So you have to think about Rowan Pope. Rowan Pope is the master manipulator because
what
he did though is he's weaving in moments of truth that she knows about and then also weaving in the lies. So she's so confused because she's on this journey with Fitz because she went to the Oval Office and now she got a little lips from Fitz. So now she's back in that whole whirlwind, you know, and she was on the beach. Her hair was looking right with that little nice natural that she had going. And then she's, you know, there's flashbacks and all these other things. So she's all up in it again. You know, she was out of it. It's like her addiction, you know. She was out of it, and then now she's all up in it again. And once she's in it, she just gets submerged, and she can't think straight.
And I like that she called him to ask where Jake was. Like, for real.
Right.
This is like soap opera now.
Right.
I'm going to call the president and ask where my boyfriend is.
Well,
okay.
But let's be a little looser with that title because just last episode he totally was not her boyfriend. And when he was trying to be her boyfriend,
came to dinner.
Yeah. When he's trying to be the boyfriend, you didn't want him to be the boyfriend. But as soon as he goes missing and he's not paying you any attention, that's when he's your boyfriend. And that's kind of unfortunate that they showed that because that's almost real life. But then it also makes me want you not to show that piece of real life because oftentimes girls are not paying any attention to a guy, but let him not start paying any attention to you. And all of a sudden he's like the cutest and best thing that ever happened to anyone's life. So then, you know, he's like, oh, that's just Jake. We were on the beach together. He was giving me all his attention and all of his love. And then he stops answering your phone calls and all of a sudden he becomes your boyfriend. Get out of here, Olivia.
Yeah. That was annoying. And Melly.
I love Melly.
She's crazy. Oh, it had a point. He's a soldier. And I get where she was going, but I think for me it was more of her delivery of all of that. That was like,
together. She pieced it together.
Just the way she delivered that. I'm like, ugh.
Well,
next scene, please.
She was drunk and she just finished eating her favorite bag of barbecue chips. So she was full. She's high off life. And she's saying some things that are a little bit sketchy.
Notice she's not fat.
Listen, thank you for bringing that. I tweeted that. I said, Melly must have that fire metabolism because
it's been like 3 months. She
is eating all of the chips and all of the fried chicken
and drinks all more than Olivia does.
Has not gained a lick of a pound.
Not a pound. Abby's gotten skinnier.
I like to go on that Melly diet.
I know. Abby's gotten skinnier. Melly hasn't gained a pound.
And can I tell you how I wanted to slap Gabby's little red hair off of her entire head? Ugh. Gabby has gotten a little too full of herself. Gabby's strutting around their White House with those fancy Olivia Pope suits on, looking all fresh to death. She's got a new little hairdo, a little bit longer on the length, and she forgot where she came from. Boo, just 5 minutes ago, you were hanging out at Pope & Associates, making coffee, and sitting in that office, sleeping around with David Unfortunate Rosen. David Rosen even comes in his own monologue and bashes himself. David Rosen he knows he sucks. He knows as a person that he sucks, and then he continues to suck. That has to be a hard life. That is the ultimate Lemony Snicket's book. I feel like David Rosen is a series of unfortunate events, and they need to write him into the next Lemony Snicket book. Maybe even make a movie, feature Jim Carrey, David Rosen. Everything's unfortunate. Forget the Baudelaire twins. That is who needs to be starring in the next Lemony Snicket's David Rosen. I rest my case.
Dear God. I watched Grace Point.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's good. I'm still enjoying it. It's hard to talk about because it's a mystery, basically. And each episode of this 10-episode arc is getting you closer to who killed this boy. So it's not like Fargo, that was a miniseries, and you know who killed who. Like, you know Billy Bob killed that dude's wife. And it's not a mystery. It's about who ends up alive at the end. How do people get found out? Like that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. This is very much a mystery. It's like who killed Danny? Like who from this small town? So it's a hard show to talk about because you can't give any clues, but it's worth watching. I will be watching it to the end. The cast is great, and I want to know who killed Danny.
Who killed Danny?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Do you know what I just thought about?
What?
On Sunday, I watched Resurrection. But
that's how unmemorable it was. Let's keep rolling.
You know what happened? I remember how much you don't like it when I talk about Resurrection, so it just slid out of my mind. I watched Resurrection though. There's nothing to say. No, seriously, there's nothing to say. Okay, so How to Get Away with Murder. Did you watch?
I did.
What did you think?
I was here and there with it. Like there was something about this episode that didn't quite pull me like the others. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't Like, there was a scene continuing from last week with her husband at the beginning and her natural hair and her looking all Viola makeup free. I didn't have any tweetable moments.
Yeah, I have very few.
It was just sort of, it was, I think every show has its episode where bombs are dropped, and other episodes are just meant to get you from one point to another. I feel like this was like a bridge episode. Mm-hmm. Like, it kind of had a little something at the end, but we already knew what happened in the end. It was just Wesley that didn't know.
Yeah. And let me tell you what I'm getting a little tired of. I'm getting tired of this bonfire that seems to last for until the end of time. I feel like this bonfire is like me watching Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. When is it going to stop? When are they going to stop burying this guy? When are they going to stop taking phone calls? It's like, just stop doing these flashbacks and just give me the backstory. Like, just take some time. Take some time this next episode and just only do backstory. Like, don't jump me from present day to 6 weeks ago to it was all good about 1 week ago to now it's 6 weeks in the future. It's like, I cannot do this each week.
And what are they going to do next season?
I think next season...
What is the setup for next time?
I think next season is going to be 5 years in the future and then 5 years in the past and then 5 years past that. It's just like, it's too much. It's too much. I'm tired. And let me tell you who I'm tired of already. I'm tired of Mr. Gibbons with those expressions. Mr. Gibbons, I said this last week and I'm saying it again. Find a new one. Find a new face. Renee Zellweger did it. You can
I don't
too.
like any of the students. And the one who like is actually really annoying is the guy who plays the one-legged guard on Orange is the New Black.
And I love him on Orange is the New Black.
I love
so what
him
is
on Orange is the
happening?
New Black. So it makes me feel like in that sense, maybe he's a great actor because it's polar opposite responses. Like, I like him, or at least you feel for him in Orange is the New Black. On this show, I'm just like, get off the damn screen. Like, even when he cried, I felt nothing for him. I'm like, oh, because then he turned around and made a face after. I was like, oh, God, this is why I don't like you. Like, I don't like any of the students.
No. I don't like that girl. I don't like the girl that slept with the dude. Whoever the advisor is who works the agency.
I don't like the black girl.
I don't like the black girl. And let me tell you, I don't like the woman who says, bitch, please.
I know.
It was so forced. It was not even like a cool, like funny, bitch, please. It was like, bitch, please. It's like,
Isn't it awful that the person I like most on the show is the husband?
Yeah. No, it's not awful because he's
like
bad.
The least annoying.
Yeah, and I like Annalise Keating. She's not that bad.
I'm okay with her, but it's sort of like, I get if you're upset that you think your husband killed someone, but when she was upset about the affair, it's like, but you were having one too.
Yeah, but I mean that's the whole that's the whole mentality of someone that's having an affair.
I guess.
That's true to life.
It's true to life. I just can't feel for it.
No, yeah. Well, and then the cop. They showed the cop dude. I'm like, okay. And
I'm wondering what his end game is with lying to her that whole time. Like, why would...
Hello? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, well, how did that serve you for you not to tell her that her husband was... Like, maybe that was his way of, like, watching her suffer. I don't know. But he didn't even get to watch her suffer because she wasn't even around. So I don't understand.
I don't get it.
No, it didn't make any sense. Maybe they just needed him to be able to come back again because that's the only way they could bring him back. I don't know. It's so useless.
Yeah.
It's the most useless secret in town.
Kinda. If she's working to figure it out anyway, what good is it for you to not... I don't know. I don't get it.
And guess who needs to not come into my house and steal any of my pizza without an invitation? Emo girl. Or goth girl. Or whatever she's doing. Isn't goth over with? Like, once Marilyn Manson stopped making music...
She's trying to be very, like... girl with the dragon tattoo. I don't know.
That girl with the dragon tattoo knew how to use, like, Japanese throwing stars and spears and everything else and make science projects and bombs and everything. This girl doesn't look like she knows how to do anything but eat people's pizza. And what is the love that you have for her, Gibbons? I don't get it.
I don't get why there's anything there. But anyway, so it was a bridge episode. I'm sort of annoyed. I should have watched Parenthood first, but I didn't. And, yeah.
Did you watch Parenthood?
No.
Yeah, I got tired and then I fell asleep. But I watched some of it and the piece that I saw was good. I mean, Parenthood, again...
It's just consistently good.
They had so this won't ruin anything for you. They had a little, like, barbecue. Mm-hmm. And the only thing I can think about while they were having their little barbecue is, where do these people live? And when is my invitation going to hit my inbox?
I know.
When am I going to get my Evite, my Facebook event reminder? I really, deep in my soul... I would just love to be friends with these people. What time can I come over? Can I hang out with you guys? I can play basketball. I like eating corn and things, barbecue burgers.
I think I watched... Did I watch Parenthood before our show last week? I don't remember.
I feel like you didn't see it.
I feel like I didn't. So I will say from last week, I really liked that they had Christina come and talk to Zeke.
Wasn't that precious?
Like, I just love that. And, you know, we don't see her parents. We know they're absent. I think Joel's parents are absent or dead or something, too. And so really these parents are like the Braverman. Like, they're everyone's parents. Mm-hmm. And this happens to people in real life, too, where you may not be close with your family or your family may be gone. And so your in-laws are kind of like the family you have. And I like when they have those interactions. Like, I like when Julia's parents earlier in the season were like, come on, talk to Joel. Or, you know, they still talk to Joel and treat him nicely. You know, it's not like they don't shut Joel out. They're not mean to him. He's still family. Mm-hmm. And so I appreciated that moment where it wasn't just like another Braverman kid trying to force Zeke to do something, but Christina sort of hanging back and going, oh my God, I totally know what he's going through. Like, let me go bond with my pops.
Let me go say a word. Let me go lay my hands on his spirit and say a word to help nourish his soul.
Yeah, I really appreciated that.
I cried at that point.
I did too. Mm-hmm. I love Parenthood. It's just consistently good.
It is. I would also like my boyfriend to be someone who hangs around the Parenthood people. Oh, that's what happened. So this won't ruin it for you either. But Amber, she meets this guy. So why is it every time they meet someone, the person that they meet has the most wonderful disposition and just such a cheerful, awesome person who has really good, clever things to say and always turns out to be so sweet and understanding. Can I go to that town and bump into people? Just Seriously. Let me know. Just let me know where this show takes place, and I just want to go to that place and just. And
I bet you anything, the real Berkeley is not, it's not like the Braverman world. But anyway,
okay, so that's Parenthood.
That's it.
I don't watch anything on Fridays.
Well, yeah, and Friday would be old school for us.
Yeah,
just one internet thing I watched that I feel like was the highlight. And I don't know if you watched it yet, but Brad Pitt on Between Two Ferns.
Oh my God.
Hilarious.
The funniest thing I have seen in a whole long ass time. That Zach Galifianakis is funny as all get out. Favorite line, what's yours?
Say what?
Your favorite line from the show. What was your favorite line from the clip, I mean?
There were so many good ones. Probably like, I mean, the real one that makes you go, oh, is when he says like, what was it like when you first laid eyes on Angelina? Was it like when Ross met Rachel?
Yes.
And of course, well, I'll let you say your favorite line because it could be my other favorite line.
Was it how do you maintain a tan?
Yes.
I'm sorry? How do you maintain a tan? What do you mean? Well, because you live in your wife's shadow. I was like, that is so awesome. And then, the other one that was my favorite but wasn't as funny is he's like, so when did you lose your virginity? Were you like 0? And I was like, and then how does it feel? How does it feel to know that you're such a terrible actor and people only tolerate you because you look good? I was like, this is awesome.
And when they exchanged gum, that had to be, that was a special moment. I was like, oh, that is really happening. That's not edited.
Well, then he spit his gum in his face, too, at the very end. And he was like, I've had enough of this. And Brad Pitt did so well with maintaining that. You could see he wanted to laugh. Like when
he was turning red.
Yeah, he wanted to laugh so hard, and he just managed not to. And then the Louis C.K., does he normally make appearances in this show?
Okay. No.
Okay, because that was a pretty good moment, because he said, hey, this guy's been in whatever movie he said.
Benjamin Button.
Yeah, he's a Benjamin Bottoms. Benjamin Bottoms. And he's like, oh, I don't care. And then walks off. I was like, this is perfect.
That's so Louis C.K. I almost feel like they have to stop. Like, I felt like Obama was the funniest one, and then this totally eclipsed that. I'm not sure how it gets funnier than this.
I'm sure it will.
That was so funny, and I laughed harder the second time around.
Yeah, I watched it a couple times because I was on Twitter or something, and someone was talking about, they were like quoting different moments from the clip, and I was like, what are they talking about? And then I was like, oh, okay. So then I went and watched it, and I laughed from a deep, deep place. That was hilarious.
So funny. I don't even remember what else happened on the internet. I will just say.
What do you mean you don't remember what happened on the internet? Everybody's been talking about it.
Well, I don't want to be mean.
I threw in a joke already about it. You missed it. It happened.
We'll go for it then.
Well, no, I'm not doing another joke. But I mean, her face. Listen, this is all I have to say about it. You can do whatever you want with your face.
Exactly.
You could do whatever. Let me tell you something. Any of you listening can do anything you want with your face, your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit. As long as you don't hurt anybody else, I don't care. Mind your own business. Here's what I don't like. Don't lie to me, boo. Okay?
Yeah. That's the ringer. It's like, just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, don't talk about it.
To stop yourself from lying.
Don't talk about it. If you don't want people to ask you questions about it, number one, you should not have came full frontal at a very large event. Mm-hmm. And then don't look surprised, or maybe your face is stuck in a constant state of surprise. I don't know. But don't look like that. Don't think that people aren't going to ask. And then don't lie. Like, oh, I'm just very happy at this point in my life, and this is why I look this way. No, boo, I've been happy for years. My face doesn't look like it's been rearranged or injected. So the point is, you got some work done. It's okay. Hollywood, they get work done.
Yeah. And the thing is, people are saying, like, no one is like, oh, botched plastic surgery job. No one is saying it looks awful. We're just saying it does not look like you.
You're not the same person.
And to say that it's because you're happy, that's not what did it.
No. Happiness
changing your diet, it does not change your face.
No.
The reason the first article kept saying, this is a picture, this is a picture, this is a picture, is because if you didn't say it, you would not know that was her.
I had no idea, bruh. Let me tell you this. I didn't know who that person was.
I can't even speak her name. Did you notice? I'm just like, this is a picture.
Who is this person? Like I was like, she looks like who's the other person? Who does she look like now? She looks like she combined her face with someone else, and I can't think of this woman's name.
Some people are saying Sarah Jessica Parker.
No, not even close, bruh. Next. Not even close. But yeah, I didn't even know who she was when I saw it. I was like, who is this? Who is this person?
I mean, that's the thing. And it's not even that it's bad. It just does not look the way you looked the last time we saw you in public. And to say it's because you're happy, just keep your mouth shut. Or say you got work done or something. But to open your mouth and not speak the truth is just to dig a deeper hole.
Exactly.
Basically.
And that's why everybody's going off. And then, people are getting angry. I think Lovey did a piece on this, where people are getting angry, like, don't mess with her, don't talk about her, why are you guys bashing her, blah, blah, blah. It's like, everybody bashes everyone else. Little Kim can't even see the light of day. Now she can. She can come back out now. But beforehand, everybody was going ham on poor little Kim. There's so many other people who have gotten this work done and done all these things and admitted to getting it done, and you drag them through the mud. And the one time we just want to say, hey, be honest about what happened to you, now we're dragging this woman through the mud. I didn't say anything about her face. It does look a little horrendous. I'm not going to lie to you. It looks a little scary. But to each his own. Where's Joan Rivers would have went in and let have on this woman.
Joan Rivers would have gone all over her. And Joan Rivers would have done it as someone who's had many plastic surgeries.
Joan Rivers would be like, look, boo, I got all the work done available for work. I went down the buffet line of work and got it all done. Just to be honest, I know what Joan Rivers probably would take a diagram of her face and dissect it and say, in this corner she had this done. In that corner she had, and
the other thing is done. It's one thing to say, all anyone needs to know is that I'm happy, and then that settles it. Oh, it doesn't settle it, but it's kind of like, okay, whatever. She knows we're on to her. But she's happy, whatever. But to say, you look different because you're happy, Happy didn't do that. But anyway.
Pharrell's happy.
He looks the same.
He looks younger.
He doesn't age.
He looks like he's 13. He wrote a song about it.
Okay.
I'm done with that.
I'm done.
And there's some other things that I saw, but those are the only two things that really stuck out.
Things.
Yeah.
Those highlights.
This is what I was going to tell you, too. So I finally watched a movie. I watched Gone Girl, but you know that already, and we don't need to talk about it. It was great. Everybody needs to see it. It was a thriller. I saw Addicted.
Oh, Jesus.
Let me tell you something about that movie. The only thing that I said while I was watching that film was, did Tyler Perry make this? And that's the continuous question that I had. I was like, is this a Tyler Perry movie? God. So the only thing that helped me to know that it wasn't a Tyler Perry movie was the fact that there was no Madea-like character in the film who was trying to insert moments of comedy with the seriousness of real life issues of drug addiction and sex addiction and all these other things. And then also the fact that the wigs and the hair pieces that the people were wearing actually looks very real and natural. So those are the only two things that helped me with the film. It's very Lifetime movie-ish just was, and they were like, someone told me, well, it couldn't have been on Lifetime because it had sex scenes in it. I was like, let me tell you something.
Have they never seen Lifetime?
But the sex scenes in this film were so super clean. Like, they could have been on daytime television. I was like, these are not... I was a little disappointed because I'm thinking to myself, isn't this Janae person, isn't her writing supposed to be of an erotic nature? So I would imagine her film would be slightly... And I wasn't expecting to see, like, Diary of a Nymphomaniac or anything like that. But I was expecting to see a little bit more, and they didn't give us much. And Tyson Beckford as an actor, go ahead and take a seat. That was all I have to say.
Speaking of Nymphomaniac, God, that movie was awful.
Horrible. And that was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know what happened in that film besides frightful thing. It was like that. I don't even need to go to a haunted house this Halloween because I watched that film.
I've seen a lot of things of different levels of good, and that was among some of the worst.
It was
awful.
It was a very strange film festival, like experimental college film type of material. And it frightened me to no end.
Yeah. On that note, I need to go do something that makes me feel good.
I think you should go listen to Happy and dance around because that's what people do when they need to feel better. Hey, we had fun today, I think.
I think so too.
We're on Twitter.
I got a little angry toward the end, but...
Don't worry about it. That kind of stuff. I mean, look, it's good to let it go early in the day. So then you can go on and live your life like it's golden. Straight up shout out to Jill Scott. Let's see. What are we doing? We're on Twitter. 18 to 49 podcast. Are we on Facebook too? Yeah.
Yep.
That's where Alaia posts all the cool stuff. I post things about Idris Elba. Obviously, nothing has happened with Idris Elba, so I've not been posting much. But when it does, best believe you'll see me on there. I'm always like commenting on things too because it's like, I'm like, this material is really great on this Facebook page, and I'm always commenting like I'm not a part of the Facebook page. I did it yesterday. I like commented on like 7 things. Anyway, Facebook.com. We're 18 to 49. What else are we on? We got an email. You can send us an email. Oh, about Wyoming. Go. What did you learn?
We have a mutual connection who has been to Wyoming, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to tell the story, but
tell the story.
Maybe we could get him on. But he basically confirmed, you just don't meet people from Wyoming. Mm-hmm. Like when you go other places, it's like they stay there. But I would love to have him on our show, even if he only comes on for a minute, just to tell his story, because I think it's pretty Wyoming and pretty hilarious.
Yeah. So we still didn't hear.
Nope, still nothing from Wyoming.
Still nobody from Wyoming, but 18 to 49 podcast, Gmail, if you know anything about Wyoming. Oh, I forgot to talk about Tyrese and Sanaa Lathan. They're supposed to be dating. I don't believe it. Thank you, TMZ. And
that's it.
That's our show for this week. We hope you enjoyed it. Hope you come back and see us on this locality. Like, I was about to do the Beverly Hillbillies, but I can't remember the rest of it. So
we should have my mom on. She could sing it.
Oh, great. Next week, then. Talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.